skips a beat.
It's a little video.
Shira, I suggest
We're going to meet Aly Raisman.
I'm telling you, we are never, ever, ever getting back together. We are never, ever, ever getting back together. You go talk to your friends, talk to my friends, talk to me. But we are never, ever, ever getting back together. You flip your hair, get me overrun. But when you smile at the girl, it ain't hard to tell. You don't know, you don't know you're beautiful. You don't understand why I want you so desperately. I can't believe you don't know. You don't know you're beautiful.
No, you suck.
That's what makes you beautiful.
So girl, come on. You got it wrong.
Gosh, Jordan. Ready, wait. Ready, guys? Jordan. Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
Can you please sign this? Thank you so much.
Stopping everything in your day and making your way over here, we're going to have
co-chairs of TLC, which stands for Teen Leadership Crew. It's a program.
Thank you so much, Sarah. What an amazing job you're doing for combined leadership fielding here, helping so many different people. Can I maybe get a little bit of love for Sarah? To meet two exceptional athletes. One represented Canada as an Olympian in 1972. The second represented the United States as an Olympian in 2012. Both represented all of us as Jewish Olympians competing on the world stage at the highest level of professional sport competition. Karen James started her career as a competitive swimmer in the Maccabi Games in Israel at the age of 12. She then went on to become a member of Canada's Olympic swim team, participating in the 1972 Games in Munich. As an athlete, Karen was one of Canada's national swim team from 1969 to 1972, competing at the British Commonwealth Games in 1970 with a silver medal, the 1971 Pan American Games with a bronze medal, and coached for several years during and after her competitive career. Karen graduated from the University of the Jewish Federation of North America's National Women's Federation's Financial Resources Development Philanthropic Services in Vancouver. As a volunteer in our federated system, joins us. I visited Moscow for the first time. So
how many watched the London Olympics this past summer? Quite a few of you.
We watched the gymnastics and diving.
How many know what the Olympic motto is? Does anyone know what the Olympic motto is? None of you particularly? Actually, the Olympic motto is faster, higher, stronger. And the Olympic ideals of peaceful competition, free of racism, politics, and religion. So London in 2012 also marked an anniversary, the anniversary of the 1972 Munich Olympic Games. It marked the 40th anniversary, where 11 Israeli athletes were murdered by Palestinian terrorists. My own story continues to evolve into a strong and deep connection with my life, my Jewish identity, and my Jewish community. So a little bit about me. I grew up in an interfaith family. My father was Jewish, my mother was not, although at times she seemed more Jewish than my father. She volunteered in the Jewish community. She drove us to Hebrew school. We went to Hebrew school.
Learn about history, but from time to time, you get to meet it up close and in person. Now, I know many of you know from your studies or from your experience in synagogue that when somebody passes away, we say a memorial prayer. We call it the Kaddish. And we say it for 11 months after they've passed away. Karen, what you've chosen to do with your unique moment in history is that you've carried a great message. Now I want to tell you about another new friend of mine that I just met today. Aly Raisman, just 18 years old, captained the U.S. women's gymnastics team to its first team gold medal since the 1996 Olympic Games. She added the United States' first ever gold medal on the floor exercise and also won a bronze on the balance beam. A respected leader, Raisman backboned the women's victory in the team event at the 2011 World Championships, where they upset Russia to win gold for the first time since 2007. In just 3 years on the national team, Raisman has accumulated 19 international medals and 5 U.S. senior national championship medals. Now I need all of your help, because I read on Twitter today that Aly has never been to Canada. So I think we have to give Aly a very special Montreal welcome. Aly,
Twitter. I'm Twitter famous. She's 5'2".
how exciting is this? Aly, we all watched you on television. We all took enormous pride in all of your accomplishments. But today we get to meet you up close and personal. So if you don't mind, I'd just like to ask you a few questions. Today, we all know you as an Olympic hero. But growing up, you must have had some heroes of your own that you looked up to. Can you share that with us?
Sure. I guess when I was younger, I used to look up to any Olympian. I wanted to go to the Olympics so bad, and I used to watch the '96 Olympics over and over again, and watching the U.S. gymnastics team win gold medal was so inspiring, so I wanted to do that with my teammates in London.
Amazing. And what about athletes today? Are there any athletes today that inspire you?
Of course, I think that my teammates that I went to London with, even though I was the oldest one on the team, I was still so inspired by these girls. We're all so close, we're best friends, and we all push each other to the next level, so I'm really glad we had that great dynamics, and I think that that's what made the difference and let us do so well.
As an elite athlete, I've heard you say that you train upwards of 7 hours a day. How do you balance that commitment, that training commitment, with all the other things that you do? School, friends, just having fun? How do you do that?
Well, training 7.5 hours a day was so exhausting and so tiring. It was mentally and physically exhausting. There were so many days where I just wanted to sleep in and where I didn't feel good, but I just kept pushing myself because I didn't want to have any regrets. I wanted to know at the end of the day that I gave everything I possibly could, and that I wanted to have that feeling of accomplishment, and I wanted to be on that Olympic. I do a photo shoot at the Carolis camp, which is where we trained right before we left for London, so it was a lot of fun to do a photo shoot with all the girls. We had a lot of fun, and we were laughing a lot, and it was just a real honor to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
I believe you when you say you were laughing a lot. I saw a tape that's on YouTube of all of you trying to do a commercial together, and you really seem to have fun together. It's quite amazing. Beautiful, actually. Now, I understand that you did your senior year online, and could you just, it's a room filled with students, so could you talk to us a bit about what that was like for you online versus being in class with your friends?
Yeah, sure. I definitely really missed going to school because I love to be able to hang out with my friends and just to be able to go to the gym and then go back to school and just be able to not think about gymnastics for a little bit. And then doing it online was difficult because I didn't get to see my school friends as much, and it was hard, but I knew it was something that I had to do. I wanted to make the Olympic team, so I was willing to make some sacrifices, and I wouldn't have traded any other way.
Now, you mentioned earlier, and I also saw you say in an interview, that even through all your travels and all your training, you still planned on going to prom. But I saw the interview before you went to prom. Now you've been. What was it like?
Prom was so much fun. I went with one of my guy friends, and it was just a really good time. I had to train in the morning and then go right back home and get ready as fast as I could to be able to make it for pictures. So it was a pretty hectic day, but I'm really thankful that my coaches let me go because, of course, they didn't want me to go because they wanted me to be in training because the Olympics were like 2 months away. So it was really important for me that I got to go to be able to feel somewhat normal and to be able to have a little bit of fun because that whole year was so intense, but it was just a really great memory to have with one last time with my school friends.
I can only imagine what it must have been like to walk into school at prom when you hadn't seen everybody for a while.
Yeah, it was really special. I think it made prom that much more exciting because I hadn't seen everyone in a really long time, so it was just a really great night and it was a lot of fun. I love fashion and I love to get dressed up, so it was nice to be able to put makeup on and wear a dress rather than being really chalky and in a leotard and being all gross at the gym all day.
Well, I'm allowed to say you never look chalky. Now, you and your team tasted a fair share of fame after the Olympics. What was that like for you, fame? I saw one of your teammates interviewed when I was in LA recently, and I noticed when the cameras went off, how the crowds just surrounded her. And how she had a certain amount of time to be with everyone. It was Michaela, actually. And when the cameras went off, the crowds just came around her. And there was a certain amount of time she could have with people, and then she had to go on to the next thing. So what's all that fame like?
It's after London, it's been really crazy. I've only been home for a total of about a week, so it was split into 2 separate times. So it's been really crazy, but it's been so much fun. I've been in a different state every day. My teammates and I were actually on tour right now, so we're traveling the country and doing gymnastics shows, so it's definitely a different experience, but it's so much fun. And just being able to travel and come to Canada today, it's really exciting, and I've been having so much fun. It's been amazing.
So, given that you've now had a taste of fame, are there any celebrities that you're really looking forward to meeting?
We actually got to go to the VMAs, which is one of my favorite things I've gotten to do since London. We met Taylor Swift, who's my favorite singer, Katy Perry, Rihanna. We met so many people. I sat next to Chris Brown for a while, and it's really cool just to be able to know that they watched the Olympics and they were so supportive, so it was really amazing.
When I was looking on Twitter, I noticed that you have almost 500,000 followers. So, can you share with us some of the connections that you've made on Twitter? Is that something you get to do on a daily basis? What's that like?
My Twitter followers jumped up about 400,000 when I was in London, so I did not expect it to go up that much, so that was really exciting. And we got a lot of tweets from celebrities and thousands of tweets from so many different fans, so I definitely didn't realize how many people watched the Olympics and how many people were supporting us, so it was really amazing and cool to see.
Did you have any really memorable tweets that you could share?
I remember Taylor Swift tweeted at me. She said something like, "Good job to Aly Raisman and the rest of the Fab Five," so that was really cool. And then I know Lady Gaga tweeted at us, so that was also really exciting.
It's pretty cool. Very nice. Now, I'm sorry?
Oh yeah.
Oh, him.
And the president tweeted at us, and I got to talk to him on the phone.
Well, you know, after Lady Gaga calls, sometimes you forget about the president.
Our directors woke me up, so I was on the phone with him, and he was really nice and just told me how proud he was of all of us, and just to thank my parents for always helping me and being so supportive, so it meant a lot.
That's amazing. I was looking at a profile that showed photos of each of the Fierce Five, and you all had nicknames, and one was the specialist, and each one had a nickname. And yours so aptly said, the leader. As captain of a gold medal team, do you feel like you've stepped into a leadership role in gymnastics? Talk to us a bit about leadership and what that means to you.
I can only hope that means so much to me to be able to be the captain. These girls and I were so close, we're best friends, and just to be able to be out on the floor with them in London was a dream come true. It was so amazing. Competing at team finals was just the perfect night for all of us, and it was so much fun, and I just wanted to be there for them. We were all on the same page, so it was really great to be able to just experience that with them. It was unlike anything I've ever experienced.
And what do you think are the characteristics that you look to, that you consider to make a great leader?
I think a great leader is someone that's there for anyone who needs help, there no matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, just to be there and to help anyone out, and just to always enjoy the experience no matter what happens, if you win or lose, just to, everything happens for a reason, and just to enjoy everything you have.
When you talk about success and you talk about training, I watched you in an interview and you said that you visualize success. And someone asked you in an interview, well, how often do you think about the podium? And you said, all the time. And the interviewer said, you mean 7 hours a day while you're training, you're visualizing yourself on the podium winning the gold medal? And you said, yeah, all the time. So speak to us about visualizing your success. And now that you've actually stood on the podium, I'm anxious to hear the difference between the dream and the reality.
Well, every day when I was going to the gym, to and from the gym, I had 2 workouts a day, so I was driving by myself 4 times, and I would always visualize myself just competing at the Olympics and making that Olympic team. That was my dream for my whole life, and that was my motivation every day in the gym when I was really tired or I kept falling, I couldn't make a skill, I just kept pushing myself. And I think being at the Olympics, it definitely didn't feel like I was there. I mean, there were Olympic rings everywhere. It said London. It still didn't feel real to me that I was there, because it was just so surreal to be able to compete there. And being on the podium in first place, it was so exciting and so amazing. I got to experience it twice, so it was definitely really surreal and just crazy. I kept saying to myself, you know, we did it, we're the Olympic champions, but I think it took a while for it to actually sink in.
I'm sure it must have. It was quite unbelievable to watch. Now, as you've already been a decorated Olympic champion, and I read of all of your accomplishments, what do you look to next? What's your next goal?
I'm just trying to take it one day at a time and enjoy everything. It was such an amazing summer, the best summer of my life, and then being able to come home and get to travel so much, it's been so amazing, and definitely want to try for 2016 again. I started my first international competition in Brazil, so I'd love to be able to start in Brazil and then end in Brazil.
Your family and your family's rabbi, Keith Stern, spoke to the Boston Press in early August, stating that you and your family have always honored your Jewish heritage. How do you respond to that? How do you feel about that and the experience? How has this experience strengthened your Jewish roots?
I mean, that means a lot to me, because my Jewish heritage is so important to me, and I never expected to get this much support from the Jewish community, so it means so much to me, and I'm so thankful. I worked so hard my whole life, and I'm really glad that I was able to use Hava Nagila at the Olympic Games and to win with that floor routine. It was just really an amazing feeling and something I'll never forget.
What about the feedback you've gotten from the Jewish world? What's that been?
It's been so amazing and so exciting, and just so honored to be here today, and so excited to meet so many new people. And it was just really exciting to not only represent USA, but also to represent the Jewish community. That meant so much to me, and it was just, I'll never forget my floor routine in the event finals at the Olympics. It was so much fun. I felt so relaxed, and I just wanted to enjoy it. It was my last memory of London, so I really wanted to make it count.
Music is obviously a very important part of what you do. So I'm curious, do you have special music that you train with?
I mean, when I was training, I mean, we didn't really listen to too much music because my coach didn't really like it, to be honest, so it was sometimes kind of silent there, but I liked music that pumped me up and got me excited. I really like to listen to Katy Perry or Rihanna or Drake, anything that kind of gets me pumped up and ready for workout.
Nice. And do you ever get to go to concerts? Can your schedule allow that?
Before the Olympics, I did not go to any concerts, but we got to go to the VMAs, so we got to see a lot of performers, so that was amazing.
Yeah, that's sort of like going to all the concerts.
Yeah.
But let's just talk a little bit about Hava Nagila. Your decision to use Hava Nagila for your routine generated enormous response, as you know, not just from the Olympic community, but from the Jewish community around the world. Can you elaborate on what that song means to you? And did you hesitate at all because it was a song from that's so much identified with the Jewish culture when you chose it to do your routine?
Well, I was looking for floor music for a long time, and my parents actually found the music on YouTube, and as soon as they sent it to me, I showed it to my coaches right away, and they loved it, I loved it, and I was so excited to be able to perform to it, and I knew it was going to be a really special routine, and I've always dreamed of being the Olympic champion on floor. I did like 1 million floor routines last year. I worked so hard, so it was just really a dream come true, and I'm really excited that everything went well there.
You mentioned your parents. Can you talk a little bit about your family and the support that they've given you? Because we always see them right beside you.
My parents are so amazing. They've been so supportive throughout everything. When I was younger, before I got my license, they used to drive me to and from the gym every day, which took a lot. Definitely weren't allowed to go on vacations because I wasn't allowed to miss any practice, and they were always there for me whether I finished first or last, so it meant so much to me to always have their support. I know I can go to them for anything, and my mom's like my best friend, so I love to be able to spend time with them.
When you talk about your family, and we see this fame that you're experiencing, where it seems that the whole world seems to have turned towards you and looked at you and reacted to you, how do you find that you stay so grounded?
I mean, I think that throughout this whole process, it definitely makes me more thankful just to stop and look at how lucky I am to be able to travel and just to be able to have the opportunity to even perform Hava Nagila at the Olympics and to be able to compete. I'm so lucky that I was able to even just to be able to perform, and it was just really exciting, and especially now that it's a couple months ago, I really look back on it all the time, and it still feels so surreal, and it's just really exciting. It gives me the chills every time I think about it.
It's amazing. You know, I've known some people that have competed over the years, and at the early stages, you sort of belong to your family, and then your community takes you on, and then, I guess in your case, your state, and then when you went to the Olympics, the country. But as just one of a few Jewish elite athletes that have had such visibility in the world, on the world stage, do you feel an extra weight representing your country and the Jewish people worldwide?
I think if anything, it just makes me more excited and more proud to be able to not only represent USA, but also represent the Jewish community. It was really exciting, and it was just an amazing experience. Of course, it was still nerve-wracking, but I just wanted to go in there and have fun and do the best that I could.
Well, I can tell you that I myself have kids about your age. The role model of what it is to be determined, of what it is to carry a dream forward, and what it is to live that dream. And, you know, our rabbi from our synagogue is here today, and just the other morning he was talking to us about the difference between the Jewish culture and almost any other culture. And that is that in any other culture, people do things. People do good things, but they do it with the hope of being blessed. And the difference is that in our culture, we do things in order to make ourselves a blessing. And I think that everyone in this room joins me when I tell you that it's in your actions, in what you've done every day, in the rigor with which you've trained, in the beauty and poise with which you handle yourself, and in the kindness, in the measured way that you supported honoring the Olympic athletes from Munich. In all that you've done, you really are a blessing to yourself, to your family, to the Jewish world. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Aly Raisman. So how did we do today?
Here, give it to me. Oh my god, yeah, wait, it's on video. Guys, what did we just do?
Which one?
Raisman. Raisman. They said Raisman. Yeah, we got pictures of her and I got her autograph. Wait, there's another one.
If anyone asks you how was you
One Direction. Creepy guys.
what does that mean?
So today was actually a pretty amazing day. Like, first we had drama, so we were working on our project in another classroom. Like, we left the classroom, we were just working on our drama project while my friends watched a movie and I was looking at stuff of Aly Raisman. And I go on Tumblr and I search Aly Raisman in the tags and my tweet came up. Someone posted on Tumblr. That was so cool. Oh my god, I just stepped on a doll that's singing. It's so annoying. Okay, and then we had English and we had a test, which I didn't study for, but actually went pretty well. Then obviously we were reading Shakespeare, and then we started watching the movie. Yay! It's more interesting than the book. And then we had science, and in science we were writing a lab report from the lab we did last class, and we had Tom and me and my friends ditched it because we had to work on our project, so we were allowed, kind of. Then we had lunch, and during lunch, me and my friends, we decided to eat outside for like the first time. And in the middle of lunch, we left, and we went to meet Aly Raisman, which is super cool, and I filmed the entire thing practically. And we got a picture of her. Like, at the end, we were getting on the bus, and my teacher was like, "Wait, they have to get a picture of her." And then her bodyguard or whatever was like, "Yeah, okay, one picture of one camera." So they used my camera, and we had French during when we got back. We had French and during French. We were just like watching videos of Aly Raisman and stuff, or is it Raisman? I really don't know. While we were in the library during class, I changed the background of my computer. Aren't I so cool? Oh my god, it's flawless. Oh my god, guys, I'm so famous. Those many people are on my blog. Well, my main blog, not my my contest blog, but like, yeah, that is so cool. Like, look, because the only reason why I have those people on my blog is because of my coolness. Because I have all these notes. I never get these many notes on this picture of me and Aly, and that's so cool. And I feel so famous. Like, just kidding, but still. I'm looking at the Aly Raisman tag on Tumblr, and I see this picture, and I'm in the background. That's so awkward. I'm looking at my camera. That's just so awkward. I just woke up from a nap, and it's like 10 o'clock. I don't even remember going to sleep. Well, anyways, I'm gonna go back to sleep because I'm just so tired. Well, anyways, good night. Today was a very awesome day.